Guys, welcome back to another episode of Limitless with AZ. I'm Amir Zoghi as your co-host, because my other co-host is Christina. So let's just bring her straight on. Christina Tyndall, welcome all the way from Los Angeles. How's it going?
Hey Zoghi, it's good. It's a really beautiful day here in DC.
DC? I thought you were in LA. What's going
I'm
on?
in LA. That's so funny.
People think I'm lying now.
Now people know where I'm from, though. I'm from Washington, DC, but I'm in LA, and it's a beautiful day here.
You guys
have had where that came from.
You guys have had a lot of rain, I hear, in LA, which is not very usual.
It isn't, but it makes the air feel so fresh and clean, which is unusual in LA.
Is it rain? Is that rain all cleared up?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Fantastic.
Now we've just got beautiful weather. So.
Well, we got rainy day today in Sydney. But anyway, let's not shoot about the weather. Like we got nothing to talk about. We're talking about the weather. We do have something to talk about today, don't we?
We do. You know, we've been having some good conversations on the podcast, you know, just getting into some behind the scenes at what we like to call AZ & Co.
Yeah, that's
what's been going on.
That's our monthly company meeting, AZ & Co. And it's very difficult to get everyone because we've got clients. We have team members from all around the world: LA, France, and Australia. So the time zone is, so someone's always got to get up at 10 in the morning or 6 a.m. to make our team meetings work. But that's why we do it once a month.
Yeah. Well, there's just been some really great stuff happening behind the scenes. And, you know, I want to continue on with some of the conversation we've been having and touch on why, or delve a little deeper into why you do what you do. And just, you know, your why. And even the question that's come to me is like, why is it important to ask that? Like, what's your why?
Yeah, look, obviously, it's an important question. You know, what is your why? And I think we should all reflect on that from time to time about what our why is. I think it's Simon Sinek who says people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. You know, and whether they're buying something or they're collaborating with you or they're, you know, you're joining forces in some way, or you're building a community, it's, you know, people join you. They're not joining you because you're selling something. They're joining you because of your why. So again, Simon Sinek, people buy what you do. People buy why you do what you do, not what you do. Something along those. I think I lost it now, but that I love that quote. And obviously we all know, you know, the why is really important, and that the why is linked to our heart. It's linked to, you know, purpose. You know, I speak a lot about purpose, and but to answer your question, you know, why I do what I do, it's. You know, when it's a real why, I find that you don't really have a choice in the matter. Like, I mean, it sounds like almost negative. You don't have a choice. Oh, well, you're in prison. No. It's a lovely. It's like when you fall in love with someone, or if you love your child. Do you have a choice in the matter? Like, you never. It's not like someone go, well, don't love your child. Well, you don't have a choice in that matter because you love them. So there's no choice. But that's wonderful. It's not like, oh no, I don't have a choice. It's a wonderful thing that you don't have a choice when it comes to love. So, you know, when it comes to, I feel your true why, your real why, it's kind of something that really, this is what it is for me. And when I say true why, you know, your real why, you know, I do a number of things. As most people know, I'm an aerobatic pilot, so I have an aviation business, and I'm very passionate about flying. I've always wanted to fly since I was a kid. And then on the opposite of that, I do what I'm doing here. We're talking about the conversations we're having right now about mindset, about your infinite possibilities, about consciousness, about your intuition, about love. Very different to what I do as a pilot. So, often sometimes people ask me, well, which one is your why? Or which one do you love more? And it's very different. I'm very passionate about flying, but my why is in what I'm doing today. My why, people always say, which one do you love more, flying or speaking and coaching? And it's like, well, flying, I should say, I love it. It's my passion. But the speaking and the coaching, it's who I am, and that's where you find your why. That the why is in who you are. I've often been heard saying this off stage when I say, purpose is not in what you do. Purpose, your greatest purpose. We can find a lot of purpose in what we do, right? But your greatest point of purpose, your greatest why, is not in what you do. It's actually in who you are. And when you realize who you are, you then become purposeful. And you become purposeful not in what you do, but you become purposeful not in limited to your work. It's not limited to one thing. You could be walking in the woods and you feel purposeful. So I often say purpose is not in what you do, it's in who you are. And when you realize who you are, you then become purposeful, and then you become purposeful with what you do. Doesn't matter what you do, but you become purposeful with that. And what changes here, what shifts, is you begin to give purpose to what you do rather than look to attain or receive purpose from what you do. And that's the biggest difference. The biggest difference is you shift your mindset from looking to receive, and that creates all kinds of attachments and manipulation and pushing and forcing and making it happen versus allowing it to happen. It's a receiving. I call it a receiving process. So you're looking at, I'm doing this so I can feel purpose. So you're looking to receive purpose from what you do, versus giving purpose what you do. It's a giving purpose. It's like, I have something to give. And whether you give that through, expressing through your words, or you give that through a gift, you give that through manifesting, creating something, a community, but it's all, or even a business. There's lots of business people or entrepreneurs where it's about what they their drive is about what they've got to give to their clients. It's, don't get me wrong, a business has got to work, and in order for it to work, it's got to receive, let's say, receive income, right? Mm-hmm. But things change when your drive is not what your attention is not on what there is for you to receive. Your attention is on what you've got to give. The receiving part, it works itself out. So. Anyway, I've gone into purpose there, but for me, my why, and I think within our why we find our gift. And someone made a comment on one of my Instagrams just yesterday about how gifted I am as a pilot, and how he was just basically saying how watching my videos and how phenomenal they were, and what a gifted pilot you are. And I thought to myself, well, I've never been a gifted pilot. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm okay. But there has been so many pilots that I've seen that they've just got the gift. They've just got the gift. It just comes to them naturally. Now, I don't think it came to me naturally. My passion for flying is there, and it's natural and it's organic, but I had to work really hard, and it's my passion that fueled my drive to work hard. But, and now I'm at a place where someone might go, wow, you're gifted, but it wasn't my gift. Now, by speaking and what I share with people, certainly is my gift. Like, I didn't do any training. Nobody coached me in, how to be a coach. I didn't do any programs, certifications. I didn't do any public speaking. I didn't even do, what is it called? Toastmasters. I've never done anything. You see, it's been a gift. So I look at some of the pilots that are out there, and don't get me wrong, everyone does practice and training, but through their practice, you're just like, wow, they're just a gun, right? Wow, they've got that gift. I never did. It doesn't mean just because I don't have the gift in flying doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. I absolutely love it, right? And it just means I need to practice. I need to work harder than some of the people that have got the gift. And that's what it comes down to. There's people who've got a gift who actually just who burn it, who take it for granted. I know this because I nearly did this. And I'll tell you about that in a moment. So, just because you got the gift or just because you don't have the gift in something that you're passionate about, it doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. It doesn't mean you're not going to be gifted in doing that. It just means you got to work harder, right? But who cares? If you love it, if it's your passion, why would you be scared of working harder, right? So I'm at a place right now where someone someone might say, "Oh wow, you're gifted as a pilot," but it's not true. I mean, I got to continue to work hard to stay gifted. However, once in a lifetime, once in, I would say, many lifetimes, in a few lifetimes, if we can say that, you find a gift that you have, and for me, it's in what I do, and it comes naturally. All it needs is the courage to do it, like whether you're gifted or not in something, or whether you find your gift in something, you still need the courage. Like, everybody needs the courage. You need a courage that's going to be bigger than the doubt that you have. Everyone will have doubts, whether you're gifted or not. So that ingredient is necessary, whether you're gifted on something or not. You need the courage. And if you have a passion and a love for something, your courage will become bigger than any doubts that you're facing. And that's all you need. You don't need to be almighty courageous, and you just need your courage to be bigger than your doubt. And once you've got your courage bigger than your doubt, then you give yourself permission to proceed and to move forward. So, with me, when I say this speaking and the coaching and everything that I'm talking about right now with my clientele, or the content, I mean, the content that no word of a lie, the content that I'm talking to you guys, or that I share in my coaching. For a sec, I thought I was talking to my coaching clients, but I'm talking to the podcast. But the content that I share with people, I haven't read in a book. And those people who get coaching from me and who receive my content, and whether it's on YouTube or through a coaching program, would actually see, yeah, he's telling the truth, because I've actually never heard anyone put it that way. There's things that I'll say that I've never heard that before, and it makes sense, and I can apply it, but I've never heard anyone say it. So what I'm saying is the truth, because I didn't read it in a book. Nobody trained me in it. It's almost like you were born with it. I don't like to say you're born with it, but it's almost like you've always had it, and then you just giving yourself permission to ignite it. Like it just needed a spark, you know. And I remember the moment for me where that spark got lit, and it comes down to a decision that I'm going to do it, you know. So that to me is our why. Our why could be driven by a passion and a love that you have for something, but also it could be your gift, you know. And if it's not your gift, you can become gifted in it. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's your gift. Like no one can do it the way you can do it.
Yeah.
Like no, there's a lot of pilots who can do it the way I do it, and do it better. There's no doubt about that. I have no doubt nobody can do what I do in this. The way I do it. It's individual. It's innate for me, and it's you know, it's one of the most important things for me to do when I'm actually training people in becoming a coach, because I do that now. I train people in actually doing what I do, you know, coaching, speaking. The biggest thing for them is to don't try to be me. You're not going. Yeah. You need to. I will teach you how I do what I do, how I've come to do what I do. But you need to do it walking in your shoes, not in mine. As one of my facilitators, Anna, just said a couple of weeks ago in one of our trainings, she goes, I just realized that I need to do this walking in my shoes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. You need to do that. So, so to me, you know, I'm just noticing I haven't answered your question of what is my why. I'm explaining what the why is first.
Yeah.
And why it's important. And you know, and I said a moment ago, Christina, that there was a moment where I almost flushed my gift down the toilet. And it was in 2013, so over 10 years ago, where I felt that I've done enough. And I decided to stop speaking and coaching. So I wrapped that up, and it you know, after that I went back into flying, and I accomplished a lot in aviation in that small amount of time. But I will never again stop with my gift. This is my gift. And, you know, I don't care how that gift is being received. I don't care how much money it's making or losing. It's my gift. I said I love flying. It's my passion. But this, what I do, it's who I am. How can you ever stop? My mum said this to me. And it was bless my mum, she's beautiful. She said to me when I remember when I first got my commercial pilot license, I go, Mum, look at this, look at what I've accomplished in aviation, look at this, are you proud of me, kind of conversation. And she just looked at me with a blank stare, and I was like, what, Mum? And she goes, you can never stop being who you are. When you speak on stage, that's who you are. And, you know, at first I was disappointed by what she said. I was like, she just pissed on, you know, my love for aviation and what I just accomplished in aviation. And at first I was just like, oh, geez, what a bad mum. But I reflected on that. Once my emotions died down and settled and neutralized, it's just like, she's right. Like that's my innate gift. And it's not just a gift, it's that gift is in who you are. That's who I am. So the moment I stop sharing, expressing, giving my gift, I'm stopping being who I really am.
Wow, yeah. You said something powerful to the coaching group as well around that, where you were like, if you find your gift, if you find something that comes natural to you like that,
Yeah.
Don't ever stop.
Well, that was a lesson for me.
Yeah, I really felt it when you said that.
Yeah, well, it's been a big lesson. It's like I stopped for a good 6 years or so, and it's only about three or so years ago that I just started going, no, I'm coming back, and I've changed everything. My aviation business is now, operates 2 days a week. 2 days a week. That's I mean, we used to operate 7 days a week. We used to have a flying school. I split the business up with my business partner, and this is my passion. I fly on the weekends. People pay me to go up to fly with them. It's my passion. And then I got back up on stage, and I started coaching again, and started running retreats again. And I tell you, I'll never make that call again. I wouldn't say it's a mistake, because I also got so much from stopping speaking. I mean, everything I'm passionate about in aviation, I've accomplished in that time. But it's when you find that gift, and again, if you're wondering what's the gift, is just when it just comes to you naturally. It's like there is people I know who just didn't do any training for a particular career. Sometimes a particular business. I mean, even business. I never did I never went to university. It's my biggest fuel has not been knowledge; it's been passion. I picked up the knowledge along the way, and I began to realize anyway, knowledge is not necessarily power. I mean, it has power if you apply the knowledge, but it's wisdom. Wisdom. I found that wisdom is wisdom is power. So
yeah.
Anyway, it's today why I do what I do. I read a quote by Pablo Picasso a number of years ago, and it really stayed with me. And this quote has come back to me, in the last 6 months, and I think it definitely has. I wouldn't say influenced me, but it has supported me in what I have felt to do for many, many years when it comes to my work. And anyway, you're probably thinking, what's the quote? Which Picasso quote? The quote is, "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." I'll say that one more time. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. That's I love that. I so much resonate with, yes, the meaning of life is to find your gift. And I almost pissed on my gift, if I can say it that way. I devalued it. When I was like, well, I'm not going to do this anymore because, I don't even I won't go there right now. Right. And, but then the purpose, so the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. What does that mean? And, I wrestled with that part for a number of years, to give it, because for a long time, in fact, when I first started to speak and coach many, many years ago, before 2013, I think I started in 2008, I believe. I sold my organization, which used to promote speakers, and after that, I decided to actually go and speak myself. I believe that was 2008. Wow. When I first started to speak. Right from the beginning, I felt to not put a price on it, and I was like, how do I do that? How do you not put a dollar figure? How do you build a business without and look, that's a probably different podcast, but today that has it has supported me in what I do today, and I got to a place where early this year I just went, I'm just going to give all my content, all my coaching content away. and we've already begun. We post it, we give it away by posting it on YouTube. This is content that is part of my coaching program that people normally pay big money for. I'm giving the content away. Now, I've always felt to do it, and I've just come to the place of doing it. You're probably thinking, well, how's that working? Well, I feel amazing in giving away. I know from time to time I hear people who email me and contact me or comment on YouTube and tell me how much they're getting from it. But I feel amazing not to hold on to it. It's the whole giving and receiving process that I mentioned before. Love is a giving process. Now, most people think to themselves, well, it's also a receiving process. Yes, but the receiving's from yourself. Normally you get fixated on what do I need to receive because you don't have it. So you're looking for someone to love you in a particular way that you haven't yet loved yourself, to give you an example. But when it's real love, and the closest thing that I could see in our human reality is the love for your children, or the love for, let's just call it unconditional love, where you have unconditional love. I always talk about my children because I just find there's no greater love. Yeah. You're not looking at how they are reciprocating your love. It's just for my appreciation is seeing them receive my love, not then them going, well, I love you, Daddy. Like if it doesn't matter as long as I can see that they are receiving my love, because I'm there to give. So anyway, it's great quote from Picasso, right?
Yeah, I love that quote. And I'm thinking about like the nuances of this conversation and how people are then going to go away and ask themselves some of these bigger questions, like what's my why, what's my purpose, like. And how do you know you found your gift or purpose or why or whatever words you want to use? Like, and I feel like sometimes people want to always relate it to some sort of career or, I don't know, but like, could it be something simpler than that? So I'm wondering if you can touch on that.
Yeah, well, I know what it feels like to drop into your why or to find your gift, and I don't want anyone to misinterpret what I'm saying when I'm saying it's your gift. It doesn't mean well, you're just gifted so you don't have to work hard. It just means that it's effortless, the work that you do. But what's your question again, Chrissy? I just dropped out from that for a second.
Well, how does someone know, or how did
That's
you,
right.
if you want to speak from personal, like how do you know you've found your gift? And also like just addressing like,
good.
how some people, start with that.
So look, to me, I know I found my gift, or I know when coaching someone who's found their gift, when it becomes less about them. Because when you find your gift, it really is there. It really is found by you to be given, to be expressed. So it's about sharing it. It's about giving it away, as Picasso says. It's so. And when it's about sharing it, because you start to be less concerned about how it's being received. So don't get me wrong, when people appreciate your work or your art, that's nice, right? But that's not why you're driven. If you're driven in order to get acceptance, approval, or recognition from other people, you know you haven't found your gift. And if you have, you are not using it. Because when you found your gift, it's about you giving, expressing. It's about you sharing. It's something that resides within you. It's something that you found within you, and it's about giving that. And and by giving it, it's just bringing it out into the world, into the physical world. That's what the gift is there for, right? Now, if you're concerned about how it's going to land, whether it's going to be successful or not, or whether it's going to make you money or not, or whether people are going to judge you, or whether it's going to be received, your attention is on the receiving process. The gift is actually a giving process. So when you are fully in your giving process, and the giving process is that you have this gift, this art, this feeling. For someone, they're an artist. They've got something that they feel within themselves. It's about painting it. If your concern is how well that painting is going to be received, and whether it's going to become famous or well known, or whatever, win awards, you're not using your gift. Because you're now using what I call the receiving process. So in other words, your mindset has shifted to, I'm doing this so I can get appraisal, approval, acceptance, recognition. The gift is never looking for that. That I know for certain. I know for certain. And not only for myself, but from anyone who has found their gift in the world that are coaching clients of mine. That I know for certain because of the my own experience, and also the experience of working with so many other people about this. Now, I'm not saying that if you're looking at what you need to receive and it's a receiving process, I'm not saying you haven't found your gift. All I'm saying is you haven't used it. You might have found it. See, I found my gift many years ago, right? But I wasn't freeing myself to fully use it because I'm looking at, well, how do I build a business around it? How can I, it became too structured. Love is not structured. The gift is not structured. It comes from the unstructured. You can't structure love. You can't if you could structure, and the gift is always love. I mean, let's put that on the table here. It's always a love. It's the energy of love. That's our gift. And as Picasso says, the purpose of life is to then give that away. Now, give that away, meaning, doesn't mean necessarily go give it away like I am right now with my content. Give it away without having any string attached. But what did you think about what I'm giving away? Is that why you gave it away? No, give it away because it's there for it to be given. That's the thing. Don't switch back into what am I going to get from this? Like, mate, you've already received the greatest gift by actually, identifying that gift, by finding that gift. That's the greatest gift. You know how many people will be like, I just want to find a gift. So many people come up to me, Christina, and say, forget about a gift. I just want to find what I love to do. I don't even know what I love to do. And if you're one of those people always say, well, you know what you don't love to do? Everyone goes, yeah, I know what I don't love. Write a list of all the things you don't love to do and start by working backwards, by knocking off those things and going, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do that one anymore. You don't have to do the job straight away. Someone's like, I hate my job. Start by knocking off some of the smaller things and then work your way back up to your heart. The reason why we don't know what it is that we love to do is because we have been swamped by all the things that we need to do. It's the receiving process. I need to do this to have survival. I need to do this to get people's approval. I need to do this to stay in this relationship. I need to do this to lose weight or stay weight or whatever. Like it's driven by need, which is driven by what is there for me to receive. But the power's not in the receiving. The power's in the giving. And when you're coming from the giving, you're receiving whatever it is that you're giving, you're receiving that within yourself. As it moves through you, you're fucking receiving it. What are you looking for other people to, give you appraisal or, don't get me started.
No, well,
your face right now, you're like...
I love what you're saying, and it's bringing to mind even some personal experience for me, but I feel like, some people also get stuck around that because they have an expectation of what it's meant to look like, like their purpose should be in some sort of big career thing, or in like they admire, like I thought this for myself, like, wait, I don't feel like I have a thing. Like, I'm looking at someone who so clearly loves, like, and you admire someone because they're like an amazing tennis player, or they're, or like, for you, like it might have been looking at the pilots and the aerobatics, that it just came so naturally. And I'm like, what is my thing, And I felt like, through this journey, I've really tapped into something that felt like less easy to define in those terms, but it was so powerful because at first it was just like, I feel this very nurturing energy that comes very naturally to me, like being a mom, like nurturing, like even getting into when I started training as a facilitator, like noticing this natural being able to hold space for people, being able to be in and not judging, and I have and so anyway, my point is that I feel like there are people out there that they're going like, I don't know what my thing is, but they have like an expectation that it's meant to look a certain way.
Yeah. And that expectation comes purely because they're comparing their thing, their purpose, their life with someone else's. So when we find someone else who's found their gift, right, or they're doing what they love, or they're on purpose, we then look at that and going, I want that. But rather than going and looking for our version of that, we then build that image or picture. That's what it looks like. So then we want to do what, and we compare our purpose or our why, or, with theirs. And when we do that, you've lost your thing. Because the thing is, like I said before, purpose is not in what you do. It's, the greatest level of purpose that you can find is actually in who you are. And when you realize who you are, you become purpose. You become purposeful. You then give purpose to what you do rather than getting purpose from what you do. What does that mean? Give purpose to what you do rather than gaining purpose from what you do. It means it's a giving process. It means like you find something that you want to express. It's something that you love, and through expressing that, you're giving purpose to that. So.
Well, the other thing that comes to mind is, really through that process, finding the value in who you are and what that thing is potentially that comes so naturally to you. Because like you said, you had that moment where you felt like you devalued it, and now you've said, I would never do that again. But like there's generally going to be a process involved for people of like truly finding that for themselves, or realizing that for themselves. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's another conversation, to be honest. But the reason we place expectation on things is because we don't value. We don't value who we are. We don't value what we have. So then we place expectations on other people or our circumstances in order to fulfill where we feel a lack of value. So it's some content that's
perhaps another podcast for another day.
Well, you know what we try to do, guys. We try to, when we do this podcast, Christina and I try to talk about more story related conversations rather than content, because the content that I provide in my coaching is available on the Truth Bumps on YouTube. So we want to make sure that what we do in the podcast is it's differentiated from the content. So I always am, when I'm delivering a podcast, trying not to talk about content, because you can get the content when you go watch the Truth Bumps. Over here, we try to tell the story, the behind the scenes, my personal experiences, my personal stories on how I came to understand or experience some of the content. So that's why I just went to Christina. Yeah, if I talk about that right now, I'm going to get into content. So
yeah.
But anyway, that's our process. That's what Christina and we feel the podcast is about. The podcast is it's about, because we all relate to stories. Sometimes content can get heavy, and the best way to learn is through a story, through just some personal experiences, whether it's mine or Christina's. So, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah,
I know it does. It does.
I know it does for me, for sure. Just hearing, your stories and hearing other stories over the years, being able to see myself in them, it just helps things land. But, I'm excited. I loved that we got to have a behind the scenes look today on why you do what you do, and even the relation to that Picasso quote, like why you're giving it away, it's just some powerful stuff going on behind the scenes. And I hope I can continue that conversation with you over the next several weeks, because you've got some other big things happening in the coming months, going back on to do live events and lead a retreat. And I think we'll have some great episodes around that for, our listeners to look forward to.
Yeah. And I'm happy to share some behind the scenes stuff. Like right now, it's me giving away my content, my coaching content, has made things quiet financially. And you're thinking, well, don't give it away. No, I really want to. I really do, because it's not about that. And I'm happy to share, let's see what happens. Let's follow my journey of me beginning to give it away. So we'll visit the Picasso quote again. The meaning of life is to find your gift. Okay, I feel 100% I've found my gift, right? Was I using it all the time? No, I'm learning how to use it all the time. And I think this is the furthest I've ever advanced in using my gift. The purpose of life, he says, is to give it away, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm actually giving it away. I'm not saying that's what you need to do. This is the way it's formed for me. I feel to give away the content so anyone can access it through wherever they are in the world. And I know it's super effective. I know that when people listen to that content, there's things dropping in, and there's little insights, bubbles, bubbles of love that begin. It's like opening up a, sparkling mineral water, and like there's bubbles. So it happens for people when they listen to that stuff. I know, because I talk to many of them. Yeah. So, and to me, that's. I've just started doing that. We've just released the Limitless. That's my signature program. I'm about to do a Limitless live in Sydney. Hey, maybe no one would want to come because it's free online. And if that's the case, well, then I won't run it. But I'm running it, right? And then I think to myself, well, I'm running this Limitless event live. And then I thought to myself, well, how do I charge for it when I'm giving it away for free on YouTube? So it was a new dilemma, and I thought to myself, and I sat down with my team, and I said, why don't we just charge? I mean, you can't say free to a live event. Unfortunately, what happens is people claim their spot, and then you get a big portion of people who don't show up because when they haven't paid for it, right? So there is a magic when you pay for something. So I said to the guys, well, why don't we just charge everybody? I mean, we're looking to sell the tickets for $197 for this Limitless live event. And I said to them, why don't we just get people to pay $1 from the $197? And then as long as they show up, we don't charge them anymore, and all they pay is $1, because I just want to be able to share it with them, right? There will be other ways where financial The money always works out. I'm not concerned about that.
Yeah.
And so that's the way we've done it. We're about to release that, the Limitless live in Sydney. The first question from my team is, well, it's live on YouTube. They've probably just watched it. Do they want to come to the live event? I'm like, well, I'm going to do one. I'd love to meet people and connect with them. And I feel like they would like to connect with other people who are on the journey. And I think that the experience of a live Limitless is completely different to watching it on YouTube in your bedroom or in your kitchen, right? It's going to be a different experience. So that's my feeling. So, but I can't charge $197 a ticket when I've got it for free. So then we thought, well, let's put the tickets at $197, but only charge $1. And as long as they show up, that's all they pay. Now, if they don't show up because they only put $1 down, well, then we'll process their card for $196 to because they didn't show up. They took a spot for someone that could have been there. So these are some behind the scenes stuff. So we've done that. So I'll tell you. Like and that event is on March 16th in Sydney in Bondi Junction, and after that we'll probably do a podcast and I'll tell you, was it successful? Was it not? What was my experience? Only 10 people showed up. Did we sold out tickets? I'll show you. I'll share with you, but I'm not stopping in giving it away. I'm going to continue to give it away, and. There's some things that obviously, look, when you mentioned behind the scenes, I thought to myself, well, let me continue sharing some more behind the scenes. This is a big journey for me. This is where I've gone. I know my gift. And I just want to give it away without any attachment right now, and that's what I've done. So, and I'm going to continue to do that, and we'll share on this podcast what unfolds, some behind the scenes. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting, And you know what? Maybe nothing unfolds, and everyone goes, "Well, you know what? We shouldn't give it away." I don't know, or maybe something really huge happens, and you're like, far out. Like, look at the power of giving it away. I'm willing to share it. This is behind the scenes. This is what the podcast has become. But I guess today has been about the gift, about our why, our purpose, and the Picasso quote: "The meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away." And see how that lands for you. What does that mean for you? Don't try to, it's something different for you. For me, I'm sharing my process, and that's what it has supported me in doing what I've always felt to do, which is don't put a financial dollar on this content, on this work, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, I'd love, if people do feel to share, they can, whether you're listening to this on, whatever podcast app, you can go onto YouTube where, Amir personally reads all of the comments, and you can share anything you'd like to share about this episode or what you got from it, or ask a question. So just want to point that out as well. But I really enjoyed today's chat, Amir, so thank you.
Thanks, Christina. It's been a pleasure, and we'll get together again, and we'll record where we're at next, and just keep sharing with the people.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will see you in the next perfect moment.
Thanks, everyone. See you next time. Hey, guys, well done. You've just completed this video. How do you feel? I'm just here just to remind you that in order for me to continue to support you, it's important for you to continue to support this work. Please like this video and also press subscribe, and remember to press the bell icon as well so you get notified every single time I release a video. I'm going to be releasing so much content here that's going to support you. If you're looking for something even more, like you're looking for a community to be part of, some extra support, some extra coaching, you're looking to share your journey with other people, then go ahead and visit my website at amirzoghi.com. and there'll be some information there on how you can be more involved. Also, I read all the comments. I'd love to hear your experience. I want to release these videos for you. I want to support you. I love to see how it's landing for you. What's your experience of the videos? Do you have any questions? So remember to comment below and I'll be responding to those messages as well. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next video.